So a lot of your clients are busy business people, or they're out, their work, their career is really consuming.
Yep.
And they just don't have time to do things. What can you do for them to help make that process easy?
Yeah, we're just here to streamline the process. So we get the brief right, and that's why I keep going back to the brief. Once we understand what the client really is after, our job is to go out and try and pinpoint the properties that have those attributes. You might have a wish list of 10 items in a really hot market. When there's a lot of competition, you might have to buy a property even if it only ticks five of your 10 things. But our job is to try and go out there and find the properties that, and if we can get to them without having to compete, we can quite often achieve more ticks and on the wish list. But we're here to streamline the whole process. So we do the whole searching and then evaluating and then negotiating. We'll do some preliminary negotiations, but we will only really work hard on that when the client says this is the one I'm after, and then we'll do our absolute darndest to buy it for the best possible price and on the right terms that suits the buyer.
So in a sense, it's if I've got a PA,
yep,
here's my description I want to give to my PA. Can you go and make that happen?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, well, our job is to assist our client. And as I said before, we're not emotionally caught up in it. Like our job's to keep putting the options in front of you for you to make your decision. We're not perturbed if you don't like a property, that's fine. We'll just go next and move on. We're a selling agent. If you're looking at a property yourself and you're talking to that agent about a particular property, he just wants to sell you that property. He doesn't really care too much if it doesn't suit you or not. He just wants you to buy it because that's what he's got to sell. But we're out there looking at the entire market, and our job is to bring the right opportunities for our clients so then they can make the decision on which one they like.
How involved do I need to be as the buyer? Because obviously I want to make sure that this is a property that I want to buy.
Yep.
How much time do I need to be involved, or how much flexibility can I give to you to go and do most things?
Oh, our job's to do all the hard yards. When we're assessing a property, we're looking at like everything from the age of the hot water system to the type of the air conditioning to the type of security screens and fly screens and the brand of the appliances and the size of the land, the size of the building, the age of the property, does it have insulation? Our job is to analyse all these things so we can provide you all that information. A bunch of questions that you guys, most buyers probably wouldn't even know to ask. And then obviously sometimes we have to move pretty quick on a property. Certain opportunities only come up. But the more information we can give to our client, the easier it is for them to make a decision on whether they like that property or not. Yeah, we move fast. We're like the duck with the feet under the water. We're going flat out, but it's a calm, measured approach for our clients. We're not here to rush anybody. Our job's to put the information in front of the client to allow them to make an informed decision.
It could also be like if you're moving from Sydney or Melbourne or Brisbane or something like that you might think, I want to get a unit or something because you're just not going to be able to get a house near the beach.
Yep.
But yet there could be the possibility of, with the price differential and things like that, maybe you can get a house that you're wanting. How do you work through what I really want?
Yeah, it's just the process of getting to understand our client. And the good thing is, because I'm working for the client, I'm 100% on their side. So they can be 100% honest with me. And my job is to be 100% honest with them and guide them about all the attributes that the Gold Coast have. Somebody says, I really want to play golf but I want to be still near the beach, but I need to drive to Brisbane and all that kind of thing. And I've had people go, I need to be near the airport. And then they've gone, I don't mind if I'm 10 minutes further away from the airport, if that means I can be near a golf course or closer to Brisbane, because I go to Brisbane more often than I go to the Coolangatta airport. We just work through that, and we don't mind if the brief changes. What's important to us is that you buy a property that you're happy with, and in 3 or 5 years' time, you're still really happy you bought that property. It's not about us getting a deal done and get you in the first thing that comes along. It's about you being completely happy. Because if you buy something that's not ticking all the boxes, at some point you're going to work that out, and you're probably going to be a little bit annoyed that you did buy that property. That's the last thing we want. We want you to be completely satisfied that you have made the right decision.
And it seems various suburbs and even within suburbs, like next to each other,
Yep.
the prices can vary dramatically. How do you know what one value of one price of a property that might be really close to another one is, yet the difference is phenomenal?
Yeah, that's right. And the two houses could be the same, but because they're on different pieces of land, whether it's the size of the land, the shape of the land, the aspect, the view it has, if it's on the waterfront, it might have a much wider waterway in front. All these things all have a variable in the valuation of a property, and it's just if you're not familiar with those suburbs, and you mentioned before, like two suburbs could be side by side and like literally just 300 metres apart, but one could be in a different suburb that's less desirable than another, where the growth rate in that one suburb is a lot higher, so it's driving the prices higher. So there's a fair bit to it. And it's very hard to make these decisions if you're sitting in Sydney or Melbourne and you're just looking on realestate.com and then looking on maps and then you're just trying to work it out for yourself. Having a local here who understands the intricacies of this market is what you really need.
So when you're choosing properties and let's say you're going to send me some properties to look at, to choose from as to what possibilities,
Yep.
do you actually physically go and look at each one and do research on each one?
Yeah, definitely. Yep. We'll only forward it on to a client if we feel it's already a good fit. We're not going to waste your time with properties that aren't going to be the right ones. And as I said before, going to the property and fully understanding all things. Look, when you go through an open home, it's hard to take it all in. You're looking at the general space, and quite often your eyes are captivated by the furnishings and how they've got it presented for sale. We're actually we're stripping it back in our own mind and just looking at what you're actually buying. We're not caught up by the marketing of pretty furniture. And so we're there to assess it more accurately. And so then when we put it forward to you, it's already passed our tests.
And can you work with, obviously we're talking a lot around beach properties and that sort of thing at the moment. Can you do acreage properties, lifestyle properties as well? How does that work?
Anything really Gold Coast. The Gold Coast is about 40 kilometres long, and we know it inside and out. Lived here my whole life, and my wife was born here on the Gold Coast as well. We're right across it, whether it's acreage, units, apartments. We've got people in our team that specialise in all parts of the Gold Coast, so we're certainly equipped to help anybody with any Gold Coast property purchase, even investment property or commercial property. I mentioned before I was a builder. I built a lot of larger commercial industrial projects, so I understand the matrix of commercial investment. So that's another thing we can help with as well.
And what about, let's say I'm moving in, I've got to get removalists, I've got to get the electricity done, I've got to make sure everything's painted, the yards, everything needs to be sorted. Yep. And if I'm living in Sydney or Melbourne or something and I don't know anybody, can you help with that?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. As I said, I've got a building background, so I've got countless connections there for different tradespeople to be able to carry out work on a property. Yeah, we've got like lawyers we can recommend. Like you need a Queensland-based lawyer when you're buying property in Queensland. If you need help with finance brokers, we've got plenty we can recommend, good ones, and removalists and gardeners, and that's the easy stuff for us.
And then when it comes to, because obviously over the last few years there's been a lot of flooding and things like that around, is that something you look at as far as how safe a property is and insurance and things? Yeah,
definitely. Yeah. I was here in the 1974 flood. Our house didn't flood in Sorrento, but the ones just down the street did. And I know plenty of that went under in Broadbeach Borders as well. There's been, fortunately, the Gold Coast has actually had quite a lot of flood mitigation. The seaway's been created and the Hinds Dam's been raised, and there's quite a lot of flood mitigation stuff. But there's still things to be wary of, that's for sure. So having that local knowledge, and there's certainly little red flags pop up when I hear certain street names.
That's funny.